Hello, friends. I'm here with Teresa Romero, who is the third president of the United Farm Workers and is the first Latina and first immigrant woman to become president of a national union in the United States. An immigrant from Mexico who is proud of her US citizenship and heritage, Teresa has played an important role in many recent successful union efforts, is admired by her peers for her work ethic, calm competence, organizational skills, ability to build relationships, and si se puede spirit. Teresa Romero, thank you so much for taking time to talk.
Thank you very much, Rabbi, for having us here. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what is the most pressing issue facing farm workers right now?
Rabbi, farm workers face many challenges. Within the movement, we have always known that they are essential workers, and now the current administration is deeming farm workers essential, but unfortunately, they're still not being treated as such. They face many challenges. Working conditions, seasonal work, low pay, abuses, and now with the pandemic, things are escalated even more.
Yeah, yeah. So to pick up on the pandemic point, how is the pandemic affecting the lives of and the work of farm workers right now?
Farm workers, for the most part, are undocumented. And when there is any bill that is going to help our communities, farm workers are excluded because they're undocumented. Even if they have children who are UN citizens, they don't get that. In California, we worked with Governor Newsom to ensure that farm workers were included in paid sick leave if they were exposed to COVID, but that doesn't happen in many states. So, and even in California, even though we have that law, we like to say that the laws in the books are not the laws in the fields. Farm workers are not being informed of their rights. So we have known of workers and we're helping them when they come to us because they were fired after testing positive, instead of giving them the 2 week paid leave so they recover and come back to work.
Wow, wow. So I think of farm workers as invisible people, right? These people who we all rely upon to feed our families, and yet we don't. Many of us don't see them. How do we create a spiritual consciousness that leads towards empathy? How do we get the average American consumer to think of the farm worker?
And that is so true, Rabbi. Many people, if you think about it, when we're thinking in the media, elected officials are thinking essential workers. I don't think that I have heard farm workers mentioned once. But I think it is important for us to remember every time we put a piece of fruit in our mouth, giving it to our children, our vegetables, the milk, everything that we chicken, poultry that we enjoy every day, it is for us to remember that a farm worker had to work very hard for us to have that privilege. The farm workers, many times, who are working and to put food on our tables, don't have enough money to put food on their own tables. And if we understand, just think about it. What happened when the pandemic started and people were not able to get toilet paper? It was just chaos. We were all trying to go to 10 stores to find some toilet paper. Just imagine what would happen if farm workers were not healthy to provide and harvest the food that we eat every day. It would be disastrous.
Yeah, yeah. I like to read a lot about and talk a lot about the Jewish involvement in the Great Boycott decades ago. And as you know, Jews were very involved in this, and I think of even synagogues and major rabbis who led boycotts against grapes, decades ago. And I wonder today, like, how can the Jewish community best be an ally in this work, and other faith communities? What's the power of religious communities as allies here?
In our history in the Union, religious communities have been a great support of the farm workers. And if out of every other groups or communities, they have uh, been there for us. But what I think is important is that we spread the voice on how difficult it is for farm workers to do the work that they do day in and day out. How important is the work that they do? And they're the backbone of our country's agriculture industry. And as communities who gather, who pray together, I think it is important that we start bringing them out of the shadows, like you say, and start talking about what it is that they do for us and how important it is that this workforce is paid and is treated with dignity, and they're not constantly living in fear because of their legal status.
Yeah, amazing. One last question for you, a personal question, if I may.
Sure.
I don't have to tell you that it's hard to be an immigrant. I don't have to tell you that it's hard to be a woman in the workforce in America. I don't have to tell you that it's hard to be a woman in a predominantly male dominated union world. Where do you get your sense of strength? Where do you get your sense of resiliency to keep fighting?
My grandmother on my side was Zapotecan. She was born in Oaxaca, and the Zapotecan culture, women are the one that run their communities and their home. And my grandma, I grew up in Mexico, and my grandma was the person that would say, um, because you're a woman, you can do it. Because you're a woman, you should have the right to do this. She was a woman who had no education, but who instilled in all of us that in being women, it was not an impediment to get to what we wanted to get to. And as I was growing up, I would probably say, "Yeah, grandma, yeah, yeah, I heard that before." But as an adult, that is in me every day, and I remember it every day, and I try to instill it on my own daughters that not because we live in a male-dominated world doesn't mean that we can't get to where we want to get and to do what we want to do and accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Amazing. Teresa Romero, keep up your amazing work. Friends, be sure to check out the great work that United Farm Workers is doing. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. I appreciate it.